Hello and welcome to this beginner's Photoshop tutorial, where we will explore using the pen tool. Hi, I'm Ehsan. I will be guiding you through this tutorial. If you have any questions, please leave a comment, and I will do my best to answer all your questions. And if you find this tutorial useful, and want to see more, please like and subscribe to help the channel grow, so we can bring you more amazing tutorials. Okay, let's get started. Let's start in Photoshop by creating a full HD document, which is 1920 by 1080 pixels. This will make a 1080p size image. Go to the File menu and click New. Type 1920 for the width and 1080 pixels for the height. Choose a landscape orientation for a wide screen. And change the resolution to 300 pixels per inch for a very high resolution. Then click Create. Photoshop will create your document and your background layer will be locked. Double-click the layer and click OK to unlock it, which allows you to rename and modify it. The pen tool in Photoshop allows you to create a selection by creating a path, which means you can create a path around any part of your image, and then make a selection from the path you created. So what good is making a selection? And the answer is, once you have selected a part of an image, you can copy it, or cut it out from the image. You can also move it onto its own layer, change the colors, remove the background, and overlay it on a different image. Change the opacity, brightness, and many other characteristics of the part you selected. The pen tool also happens to be the most accurate tool to create a perfect path, because it creates a vector shape, which can be manipulated without losing quality or becoming pixelated. It also stores paths in their own storage place, in the Paths tab, which means you can go back to any path again and again and change it. And this is really important and can save you a lot of time, because we all make mistakes. And if after working to create your path, you notice you made a mistake, then you can just go back to that path and correct the mistake without having to redo all the work again. If for whatever reason, your Paths tab is not available in your Layers panel, you can open the Window menu, scroll down, and click Paths to add it to your Layers panel. Press the letter P on your keyboard, which is a fast shortcut to start using the pen tool from the Tools bar on the left of the canvas. The following are the basic points you need to learn to start using the pen tool. Click to create anchor points with straight lines between them. When you reach the first anchor point, you will see a circle indicating the circuit of the path is about to be completed. Click to complete the path. Click and drag to create curves anchor points. Curves have two handles. The first handle controls the previous curve, and the second handle controls the next curve or line. Press Ctrl or Command and drag the handles to change the size and shape of a curve. Press Alt or Option and move the handle point to change the curve direction. Hover over any anchor point and click to delete it. Hover anywhere over the path line and click to create new anchor point, or click and drag to create a new curve. Press Ctrl or Command and click and drag any line or curve to move it to a new position. Hold Alt or Option and click any curve anchor point to change it back to a straight line anchor point, and click and drag to change it back to a curve anchor point again. The fewer anchor points you make, the faster your path will be completed, and the smoother your path will be. When you complete the path, right-click inside the path and click Make a Selection. Press OK, and the path area becomes selected. If you click the Paths tab in the Layers panel, you will see your work path. You can double-click it to select it and edit it if you need to. Practice using the pen tool a few times, to create paths and selections. And you will master the pen tool in Photoshop. After you have created a selection, you can also create custom shapes using the pen tool with customized fills. For example, you can click 4 times to create a triangle. Right-click to make a selection. And then fill it using a solid color. Or a gradient from the many available pre-selected gradients. Or even using any of the available patterns. You can do the same by creating custom shapes, using curves to create a selection, and then follow the previous steps to fill your custom shapes. So, basically, you can use the pen tool to create any shape and customize it with solid colors, gradients, or patterns. And as mentioned earlier, one of the most common uses for making a selection is to select a part of an image, cut it out, and then overlay it on a different image. This makes the pen tool a very versatile and powerful tool for creativity and using it for unlimited applications. We can click to create points and click and drag to create curves. And by combining straight lines with curves, we can create complex shapes that can create a path around any subject, so we can cut it out from any image. Using the Control and Alt keys on Windows or the Command and Option keys on Mac, we can manipulate the curves to create a perfect path. Remember to press Ctrl or Command to control any anchor point that has already been created, and Alt or Option to change the direction of the path. This may seem very difficult at first, but it will only take a little practice to become familiar with creating perfect paths. It is important to create the path slightly inside the subject, so we don't include any parts that we don't need. And it is comforting to know that you can go back to your path and change anything many times over, so you can continue to change your path until it is perfect. Once you finish the path, you will reach the first anchor point, and as you hover over it, you will see a circular shape, indicating that the circuit is about to be completed. Click to complete the circuit. Right-click inside the path and choose Make a Selection. To get a smoother edge, you can feather the radius by half a pixel. Next, click the Layer Mask icon, and this will cut out the selection from the image. Creating fewer anchor points saves time and gives a smoother path. Export your selection as a PNG image, and you can import it into any background. I will now create solid color background. If you've enjoyed watching this quick tutorial using the pen tool in Photoshop, please consider subscribing to help this channel grow so we can bring you more amazing tutorials. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to see you in another tutorial.